Must be excitement.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome everybody to this Planning and Parks on Wednesday, 27th of January, 7 PM. Welcome to all councillors, everybody's present, and also to Councillor Tony Mabel from
Matthias.
Matthias.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lau.
So, Lowy. Okay, item 1 on the agenda is apologies. Everybody's here. Declarations of interest. Members are asked either to declare, if required, any disclosable pecuniary interest they may have in respect to items on the agenda.
I've declared an interest in item number 13.1.
Okay. Are you, if you're still, will you staying in the room?
If that's still possible.
Yeah, no, of course it is. Yeah.
I've put in the book, the person concerned works on the RES, which is the retained duty system, so it works for me. So it wouldn't be appropriate for me.
Okay. 13.1.
13.1.
Mr. Flowers' application. Okay, and obviously any other interest they may have in respect to items on the agenda, and members, as always, are reminded to inform the clerks of any changes in their register of members' interests. Number 3 is to confirm the minutes of the meeting of the Planning and Parks held on Wednesday the 25th of November. Anybody got any points they wish to raise? Can I have a proposal by Joyce, seconded by Stan. All those in favour? That's unanimous, so I'll just sign those. That's a minute. 25th. Councillor's question. Any questions been notified?
No.
Thank you. Rejoice. To rejoice at members' reports. Joyce, you got a member? Joyce has got a report for the council, I know. Anybody else got a report? No, Joyce.
Right, report on Oakham Festival. Oakham Festival Committee met on the 18th of January. Sponsorship is now being sought by 2 members and the website and social media sites are being updated. The festival will run from the 29th to the 3rd of June. 29th of June to the 3rd of July and will be 5 days, packed with arts of varying types. Comedy, art exhibition, music and drama. If anyone missed Henry Dawes' one-act play, Beyond the Pale, it's hoped that it will be repeated one of the days during the festival. I can thoroughly recommend that, so watch this space. Other items which are being investigated is a photographic exhibition, poetry recital in the library, lunchtime concerts and a choir fest where all choirs will be invited to sing. Inquiries are being made for a suitably large hall because there'll be a lot of parties. And please don't forget the ever popular, and put it in your diaries please, Proms in the Park on the 2nd of July. This will promote Oakham and other events like Oakham Town Council band concerts. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes and I'll keep you updated as everything emerges. Oakham Festival Council Rep and Committee Member of Oakham Festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thanks.
Thank you, Joyce. Good. Michael.
Can I ask who is the driver behind Oakham Festival?
Who runs Oakham Festival?
It's a committee. Chairman, do you want the chairman? Michelle Beggy.
And she drives herself. Deputations by members of the public. Members of the public are invited to make deputations. Now this evening, Tony is coming in to talk about the Rutland Times. And ordinarily we are restricted to 3-ish minutes, but we're going to sort of give you a little bit of leeway on this, Tony, because I know there might be some points that you want to get across.
Well, I'm not here to present it.
No, but
I'm here to listen to what
okay.
how you debate this and what conclusions you come to. I don't think it would be right for me to promote it as such.
Good. Okay. So you don't want to talk about it at the moment, then?
No.
Brilliant. well, not brilliant, but you know what I mean.
Does that mean we can ask him questions as we go on?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to make I'm going to actually bring an agenda change. We're actually going to now propose that we actually bring item agenda 11, which is the Rutland Signs Guidance Policy. Let's propose that we change the order. This agenda item 11 is now brought forward to item, what will be technically 7A. So that's the proposal that we discuss that now. Can I have a second for that? Stand, all those in favour?
Yeah.
That's unanimous. So what we're going to do, we're going to go straight to the signs policy. I'm not going to speak much more on it, but what I will say is at the end of it, Tony, I'm going to give you the opportunity to address any questions that might come out of it, because it will help the councillors. But it's now open up to the councillors. Who's got any comments they want to make about this? And we have seen the emails that Martin has contributed towards this subject. Vince?
I would like to go to A boards to start off with, please.
Page
3, page 13, where it says an A board will be 800mm square in plan. I'm assuming that is looking down onto the path, therefore it means that the board is going to be just under 3 foot, which I think is excessive.
Right, so you think the A board is going to be too wide?
I think it should be 600mm, 610 if we're going to split hairs, which is 2 foot. 800mm is far too big.
Right, so
yeah.
A board.
The height I've got no problem with,
600mm.
but the actual width of 800mm is
too wide. Okay.
Well, I'm sure Tony will
okay,
correct us on this, but I think the point is, it's when it says in plan, that's only looking front onto it, I would have thought.
Well, plan is looking
Yes, I agree with that, but I think that's the wrong word.
right.
Is it possible to get Tony to...
You want to elaborate on that, Tony, when it says 600?
Only to the extent that when I have been in business and had a high street business, not in Oakham, I hasten to add, A-frames tend to be quite a standard sort of size.
Well, I used to
because of the poster that they will take.
I used to be in the sign industry, and I know that 610, 2 foot, is also a standard size. And 800, my personal view is that 800mm is just shy of 3 foot, and some of our paths, it would, limit the space to get a wheelchair, pushchair, and both crossing at the same time with that 3 foot space being taken. Okay. That's just my observation. So
we would be happy to
yeah, yes.
I'll make a note that we pass that back. So
yeah.
I think that can you make a note on there that the councillors identified that we think 800mm may be too wide, and would it be 600mm may be a better size, because it will be
610 is the
okay.
equivalent.
Working round, anybody else got any comments or observations on this document? I'll come to Martin, he's next in line, then I'll come to Jasmine, and then I'll come to Michael. Martin.
Okay, we don't have to stand today.
No, you don't.
I know this is a very comprehensive document which includes a lot of things, but my attention was, as it was noted, drawn to mainly Oakham. I think that's relevant to us because we're Oakham Town, Oakham Town Council, and I spent a lot of attention on the advertising boards, banners and things in part 2. Page 11 to 23. I won't be saying much because a lot of my questions have been answered by the good councillor who's sitting over there.
I can't see. Where are you reading?
Page 11.
I'm just that I'm talking about part 2 on page 11. It's that section is what I've mainly concentrated on.
Right.
I'm of the opinion that there needs to be, and I welcome this, some control. I think that what is written in here basically is prohibiting most retailers in Oakham from actually having a sign by the restrictions and things that are asked to be thing. I think there should be control because of access issues, particularly Mill Street, and there's perfect examples of certain shops which I've shown you in the pictures who have huge advertising things which are practically as big as the pavement at the moment. So that's the sort of thing where I think it's going a bit too far. But on the other hand, I understand fully from the business point of view that they wouldn't put them out if they weren't a benefit. I've had public comment from one of the businesses who says, I'm going to rebel against this, and it's just, you know, we should be doing something else, petty council, and they're quite upset. So whatever happens is going to upset, but I'm just concerned that this is not, you know, the whole report starts off saying how they're a nice compliment to the atmosphere of Rutland, and then basically, as you read in, it's just hammered on that particular section that you have got to pay fees, you've got to do this, and they're not returnable if you. But I think most of my answers have been.
Oh, right, okay, so you're happy with what?
Yeah, but I was just pointing out what my concerns were, that there are. It needs control,
okay,
but I fear that it's too much control.
Okay, so if you make a note there, that is there too much control? Because A boards seem to be adopted to promote business, so we're getting the balance right. So just too much control, getting the balance right, summarises, I think, what Martin was trying to say.
Size is a perfect thing to concentrate on, because there are ones in Mill Street which are too big.
Okay. I'm going to, with Council's permission, allow Tony to just come back on that as well. Yeah?
If you don't mind, just a very brief comment. One of the issues that we want to address is that those people who are using the street to advertise their goods are insured, and that is also a key element in here. It doesn't shout out that, but it is, as far as we're concerned, a very important aspect. If somebody hurts themselves on a sign, or it blows in the wind and hits some child or something, we need to be certain that they are insured.
Appropriate. Okay, thank you. Right, I'm going to move on to Jasmine now, Martin. Yes. I'll come back up if anybody's got any redress. Jasmine.
Yeah, I've circulated the email from Rutland Access Group.
Yes.
And I just wondered whether we were going to support any of the points that they have put forward to RCC.
Yeah, did everybody see the email that was sent around by Jasmine? It was quite useful. On there was, I think it's 3 things. 2.3, we would request that the 1.8 metre unobstructed width should be required rather than just desirable. So you don't have to write it down. So if we're going to submit that, okay? 2.8 was, after the words visually impaired people, can the words by providing colour contrast be added? And that's because some people might be visually impaired, some people might have colour contrast issues.
That's a good point.
So we'll add that to the replies back from the Town Council. And can the height be increased, because Jasmine's representing this group, and I agree with what she's put down as well. Can the height be increased to 1.2 as below this level? Some partially sighted people still miss them and walk into them. Okay?
Yes, they do.
Sighted people still walking.
Yes.
Some people. Right, okay. So I would say that we submit those 3 points raised by the Access Group because we represent them as well. That's the reason we have representation. So they'll be added in as comments. Is everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Jasmine's just going to come back.
Yeah, I was going to say there was one more point that made in the paragraph at the end about it would be preferable if the boards for each shop could actually have a specific location so that people get used to where they're going.
Good idea, yeah. Like, especially, yeah. Well, yes.
That's been noted in Oakham.
But it says on the thing that they've got to be outside their property, so I take that as being the location.
Basically, they move around. So okay. Right, brilliant. I'm coming down this side, so I'm going to go to Michael, Elliot, then I'm coming on to Joyce, then I'm going to go back round again.
Can I get a chance?
Oh, and Alf. Alf, sorry, Alf. So Alf before.
So I've got 3 questions. First one is, my view is we should get rid of A-boards altogether. Yeah. And I know that's not
a question. Yeah.
No, it's a statement. And has the County Council thought about helping retailers to advertise rather than using A-boards? I'll give an example, Tony. If you, not that it's a good example now, because I think Knight's Yard is becoming less and less popular to have for business. But there's problems there. There was a lot of A-boards from people in Knight's Yard inviting people to go up there into Knight's Yard. Now, surely I would have thought there was a possibility of using some form of advertising as such, like an arrow, fingerboard pointing up to say whatever it is, like emojis, whatever it is. Is that being thought of, right, to try and get rid of the A-boards?
There's been some discussion with Oakham Town Partnership and an idea that we might, but this would be subject to planning permission, have some sort of signage. Now, who pays for this would remain, we'll have to wait and see. But some sort of, ladder type signs where the names of the shops could be put on there. The question then is, where are they going to go? Is there a site suitably near that row of shops that isn't going to obliterate somebody's front window or whatever? So it's something that we're very happy to look at.
I've added it onto the list here.
Okay,
second question?
The thing is about consultation, as we've recently had problems with CCTV poll. What consultation has been undertaken with the retailers? I know you've contacted Oakham Town Partnership. What about the retailers themselves?
We've concentrated on Oakham Town Partnership and is it Uppingham first, is it? For Oakham? In terms of them talking to retailers.
Okay, well I would suggest you go direct to retailers because there's always a communication problem. Are you contemplating consultation before this goes to council?
Yes.
Right, that's good then, because I'd hate to see it go to council and then everything explode in your face.
We've it's always going to be contentious with some people.
Agreed, but if you don't tell anybody anything, then they'll make their own story, won't they?
I like the consultation.
Directly linked with details.
Third
Absolutely fair.
Third point is, I think this is a very comprehensive document. Obviously there's been a lot of research gone into it and somebody's taken a long while compiling it. And there's quite a lot of regulation in it. How do you intend to police it?
Sorry, Karen. We've had this one.
Yes. Essentially, we have highways, members of the Highways Department who walk the streets, for example, in Oakham at least once a month, making a note of stuff. Not necessarily that it gets acted on, but that's what they do. The same is true in Uppingham, and we will rely mainly on those sorts of people to make sure that signs are the correct distances, correct sizes, and to ensure that if a licensing route is chosen, that retailer has a license for it.
Okay, so there'll be at least a monthly check, is that what you're saying?
Yes. Now, when it comes to more distant villages, off B roads and the like, that again will be trawled whenever our Highways Department go out in the direction of somewhere. They are not going to go and pick on anybody in particular. They may receive an email or something from a member of the public that might complain, but it is not our intention to spend all Highways time driving around 500 kilometres of road once a week. It's not a practical proposition.
No, obviously, in the first instance, obviously, it needs to be some sort of more sympathetic approach to the retailer who's possibly not understood what is happening. So I would hope that would happen as well.
We've got an element of that covered earlier on, I think, haven't we, where we've said think of it, but
Okay, I've made a note.
Thanks.
Okay, Mark Leonard.
Appendix C is referred to on page 9. Have I missed Appendix C?
Is that what you've got that's appeared, which I don't have?
That's appendix 1.
What?
13.1, banners should only be erected in the highway at the consulted locations shown in Appendix C.
Which I take it we do not have.
No.
We don't have appendix C.
Could I,
No offence.
sorry, do you mind if I say something about this?
Yeah, sure.
This is essentially in regard to banner stands, or banners.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'll tell you one.
And there are, I suppose a good example would be the Burley Road roundabout. A prime example, if there was one, where you have people who leave banners up far too long. They're all different shapes and sizes. Half of them you can't read anyway. So an area like that, and again it would be subject to planning permission, and we've not itemised all the sites yet. We've just thrown in a few ideas, and I'm sorry that that wasn't included in this, but nothing is fixed anyway, of having specific sites for banners where we would erect a frame or something in the ground, and that we would control the use of that site for specifically sized banners.
That's a good idea.
Now, that might be in half a dozen sites around the county. It might be a dozen, it might be 18, it might be less. We don't know yet. But planning permission will play a big role in that.
Would they be free to hook onto?
Now this is where it starts to get complicated. We would like to think that there are instances where people could put up banners that shouldn't have to pay.
Charities, for instance?
Yes, subject to definition. But we believe that anybody who is a clear-cut business and wants to advertise on the highway, that they should pay.
Okay, all right.
And to a certain extent, it's those that pay that will help finance.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
managing.
right.
It's taken 10 years for that suggestion to come to
But the
fruition.
difficulty we have is what is a charity?
Okay, Michael, are you happy with that?
Well, I'm asking for the point of view of the community group who wants to put banners up ahead of a film performance in the museum,
Yeah.
which we've been running now for 5 months since September.
Yeah.
And part of that obviously has been banners, and we've identified 5 sites and then put them up. Your 4 weeks notice is a bit horrific, because if we're getting near to 2 weeks away from the event and we haven't sold enough tickets, we might be tempted to go and put a banner up, so that knocks that on the head. But anyway, those sites have just been chosen. What you're now outlining is a totally different approach, obviously, to banners.
Well, yes, I mean, an example of another example in town where banners tend to congregate is outside, right on county council offices,
Indeed, yeah.
on the roundabout there,
Yeah.
and the cinema has been known to put banners up there too.
You've noticed?
I have noticed. I have to say, not when I'm driving my car, but when I walk past, as I do. So I've got one particular image of 3 banners there, and really it's a mess, frankly.
The trouble it seems to be, remember someone puts a banner up, 2 or 3 others
Yes.
immediately,
Yes.
which rather negates the
Yeah.
point of the banner.
And strictly
Which
speaking,
gives it-
highways
it gives
can't
strength.
authorise, it is not, Rutland County Council is not in a position to authorise at the moment anybody putting up a banner.
Okay.
When do these come into force?
Consultation is not over. I think the aim is to get this to Cabinet in April, May time, I think it is, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
So we're not in a mad panic, on this.
No.
We want to take
Michael, did you want any comment added in here about that the notice period is a bit tight, or?
Well, I think to have to give for the group like what I've been talking about,
Yes.
the use of 4 weeks notice seems a bit clumsy.
So the notice period is tight, and is there flexibility? I'll word that.
And the locations, well, it sounds if your answer to the locations point is that they're going to be much more fixed by yourselves.
Yes.
Right.
But that you're nowhere near yet.
No, we haven't itemised any particular sites. We've got a few ideas.
That might be consultation, won't it? Possibly. All right. Well, let's not worry about
I
that.
can't answer that.
Because we are running heavily into
Yeah,
time.
sorry.
I've still got some councillors to speak. So
Until May or June, we're all right doing what we're doing.
I can't authorise anything.
No idea.
I can't say that
The fact said no, I'll take it.
Joyce.
As I've been saying to Tony, I was on as a member of Oakham County Council when this policy was first produced. It's more or less just tweaking, isn't it? There isn't anything earth-shattering that is changing. Now, the problem we had when we made the policy was actually policing it, and that is the problem. But I have 2 things to ask Tony.
Yeah, shoot.
What can we do about advertising bikes on our bicycle racks? Because one penny farthing or whatever it was fell on me, and I went to see the owner, and they have removed it, and it is no longer in the town. But there is one gentleman that keeps on moving his bike. Now those bicycle racks are for bicycles and for our visitors, not for advertising signs. So I think we need to be a bit tighter on what happens with our bicycle
I would say
bollards.
surely that's our problem because they're our bollards.
Shouldn't we pass a bylaw?
Sorry?
We town council would have to pass a bylaw.
We have, sorry, have we got a bylaw?
No, we haven't. The town council would have to. The town council would have
Well, in that case, why don't we put that on the agenda and get a bylaw,
Yeah.
please?
Need to do some research on it.
And
Yeah.
can you...
What's the second
That'll
question?
be the
And
first.
the other one that I want to bring to the notice is illuminated signs over shops. There is a, I don't like calling it a law, a rule that only certain types, like hole in the wall banks, have illuminated signs throughout the night, and takeaways while they're open, and then the light goes out. Now this week there has been one on continuously at a charity shop, and it was on Sunday, and it was on Sunday night all through the night. So why are we not policing or doing something about these illuminated signs? I don't know whether it's also them or OTC or RCC.
Can you make a note there that question to push back is that RCC
But there is a rule
Please.
about
inappropriate
illuminated signs.
Curfew.
Curfew.
Chair, if I may,
Yeah.
that doesn't form part of this
It's not part of
policy.
Yeah, but we
But
need to...
I would suggest that it is a planning issue for the sign to have been put up, I would guess, in the first place.
And the conditions of the planning would be when it's on and when it's off as well, aren't they?
Not my department, so I
Make
can't
star that one, that we'll send an email through to planning to ask them.
And if you remember, when the cart went up,
Yeah. Ah, convenience store.
one of the questions was, is the light going to be on all night?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Joyce. Michael, have you? No, Vince.
It was about the banners and the location of the banners. So I think Michael's pretty much covered that.
Okay.
If you look at the banners and the charity event for the 7 days, sometimes, because I'm assuming they're completely different, because the charity community event is 0.6 of a square metre, so it's a 2 foot square. I think 7 days, that's on 12, page 9. Most charity events like to use banners, and they like to go up and get as much support time as they can, and I think 7 days is probably a little bit sparse.
So can there be flexibility on charity, what do we do all that? Planning days? No.
Charity and community.
Charity and communities.
Agenda, sorry, number 12.
Yeah.
12.2.
12?
The signs are,
Yeah.
I accept the signs removed within 24 of the event, that's brilliant. A maximum of 6 as well. I think if you're putting a 2 foot square sign up, realistically you're looking at sort of an A2 poster,
Okay.
which isn't massive, to be fair.
Yes.
So I think limiting you to 6 is quite constraining when you're trying to raise money for a charity.
Okay, I made a note here that that they look at the flexibility of the community and charity events one, specifically 12.2 on the length of time. Okay, Dan, have you got anything you want to
Yeah,
add?
just one thing, 12.7.
Signs are to be removed within
To
24
make
hours.
sure that signs are removed within 24 hours. Because there's lots of notices and things that go up and are just left there. And I don't think that should apply to this, but make sure that it's removed within 24 hours.
So that's part of the policing policy that you're looking at trying to adopt then, isn't it?
Yes, and to a large extent it ought to be self-policing. But you know, there is a train of thought that says, well, we'll go and take the thing away ourselves and charge people for the privilege.
Yeah. Okay.
Law is
Red card them as well. I would red card them and say, you
the
know,
law is a little bit hazy.
Yeah,
on
it's
what
difficult
we
to police
can
and
do.
enforce, isn't it? Okay, let's try not to get to the right mind. Did you have anything to come
Yeah,
back with? Because we want to try and conclude this within the next 2
two
minutes.
quick points.
Yeah.
The banners and fly posting, Rutland County Council's website quite clearly says it's a criminal offence, and they give the link for reporting. So I have an issue of the fact that the council is going to entertain it, especially walking around today to see that there's posters up in Oakham which have been up looking tatty that are over a year old, some of them, and I can't see how the council can propose to be saying that it's acceptable for charities to do this when actually it is a criminal offence to fly post. That wasn't Rutland County Council's doing, that was central government. So how can you override the law? But anyway, you don't have to answer that now, but it's something to look into.
I can very briefly. For a start, because you've raised this issue, I've asked for a proper definition of fly posting that everybody can understand to be added to the website.
Brilliant,
Right.
thank you for that.
Thank you. And the other last point, it's just it might be a bit useful for you because I consider the bike as advertising, which would cover not being near a piece of street furniture, 1.2 metres or whatever. It might be interesting for you to speak to Melton Borough Council because they had some very, very attractive advertising on bikes. People tried to put plants in baskets and things, and they have all been removed and they're outside the people's shops. So it might be interesting just to find out what policy they've been able to get them removed from lampposts and cycle racks in Melton.
Thank you for that.
Okay, right, I'm not going to, I hope everybody's happy
Thank you
with
for all the time we've had.
Obviously we've sort of blown everything out of the wall. What we're going to do is, I'm going to propose that we pass these observations and comments back to Rutland County Council in relation to our observations on the Rutland Signs guidance policy. Does everybody want to read out what was spoken about?
No,
I think we did cleared it. We put it quite clearly, and it's been quite clarified as we've gone. So, proposal that the comments that have been made, everybody's comments, are sent off to Rutland County Council. But I propose that you're seconding it. Seconded by Stan. All those in favour? That's unanimous. I'd like to extend my thanks to Tony for helping this meeting go on longer than it would be. Thank you very much for taking the time.
You're lucky that we didn't get onto Rutland, really.
Another time.
Another day. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
You don't have to leave, by the way. You can stay for the remainder if you really want.
If you don't mind, I was at a meeting till 10 o'clock last night. I'd quite like to get a hot meal.
It can be very enjoyable, Council.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item 8 on the agenda is the health of concerts. This is something that came out of the promotions working group. It was discussed that when you can read the document, it's reasonably straightforward. Anybody got any comments or observations? I'll walk around the table. Vince?
Yeah, I wasn't aware that you were putting the paper together for this and I needed permission to do it because I thought I'd said I would look into it, have looked into it and have got an answer in principle, and the answer is yes, more than happy. And the community involvement, and I'm speaking only on behalf of the Scouts, I've not been able to get in touch with the guides yet, but the Scouts at the moment are more than happy to take this project on, run with the community engagement, and it works a two-way street. It will also enforce the Oakham Town Council events, because obviously there's going to be a lot more younger people going down there who will have grandparents and parents, etc, etc.
Brilliant, okay, no, that's good.
So I'm sorry that you put it down, but that I've already sort of run with it, if that's all right.
No, that's fine. I'm happy with that, because in fact I'm conscious of the fact that the council doesn't want to let the grass grow under its feet anymore, and get some of these things through. Alf?
Yeah, are we just going to restrict this to one group, like the Scouts, or is it
No,
going to be open to
it could be open to other groups.
other youth groups?
In the past, we have had things like the Catmus College students have gone down and done a litter pick, and we haven't even known about it. So, and this is, we're just trying to formalise it. And the thing is, it might be that the council decides, somebody might turn around and go, we need to make sure we've got insurance.
Yes.
Or that the people that do it, like the organisation, have insurance. But organisations like the Scouts and Brownies, they have liability insurance.
If I'll jump in there, if you don't mind, the
Yeah.
Scouts have said, one, they are covered
Yeah.
because of their own insurance. They are more than happy to take on the teas, the coffees, the cakes, the chairs, etc. However, if the guides, when I approach them, say they're more than happy to, they're more than happy to
work together.
Oh,
together.
Oh, right.
So if any other organisations or groups are approached in the future, I'm sure that they're more than happy to work together. So,
good.
In answer to that question, if other groups come to us, for this year I would suggest that we run with the two that we've got, and then if other groups want, then we split it whichever way.
Okay, right, I'm going to come over to Martin.
Can we then possibly just note this as is, because your decision is different from they've already been approached, haven't they?
Well, the thing, yeah, but how I tend to word this is that the council agree that
to use this.
The youth groups and organisations can use the facilities in the park. So it could be scouts, whatever, guides or whatever. Because the thing is, it has to be, that's the reason it came to council anyway. Because it wasn't necessarily just about the scouts out.
So you're changing.
In the past we've had a rota of members attending, or we tried to have a rota of members attending various concerts. Is that going to now finish? So we don't require members?
No, we still require members because the members host and introduce the band. So that's the human.
So we still need a rota of those.
That will be coming out as a separate thing, but that'll be taken straight. So the proposal from this document is that the town council agree that either groups that approach us like the scouts or the guides or whoever, or if we approach them and say, do you want to come along and help at the band concerts, and they can serve teas and coffees and they reap the reward. So that's the proposal, that groups can help and take advantage of it. Proposal? Seconded by Martin?
Yes.
All those in favour? That's unanimous. The only thing we'll have to do now, Vince and obviously Joyce, is to liaise with these people. Eventually we'll have to diarise it as well.
I've got a meeting already in place to go through, as I say, I've got this all laid down in principle. The guide lady hasn't actually got back to me yet, so when she does, I will either meet them separately or we can meet them separately. I've proposed that at the next meeting we actually lay down an agenda of things that they want us to do, what we want them to do, so that we can then say this is the dates, what we expect you to do. So they're terms and conditions, basically.
Yeah, okay.
And access to keys and things.
Yes.
All that
the keys may be what the council, whoever is the nominated person for that day, they are responsible for the keys.
So we still have a responsible councillor there, which is entirely with what Al's about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this year I should be available for them all.
Cool, good. Put it down for them. Right.
14th of August already booked.
Yeah, put it down for all.
Put it down for all, yeah.
Can do.
Okay, item agenda 9. This is something else that came out of the Promotions Publicity Working Group.
Can I just sort of interrupt again?
Yeah, shoot.
Following the last, again, I didn't realise you were bringing this to...
Gresham, Graham.
Yes.
Communication.
I have, well no, it was what we agreed at the meeting that it would be looked into. I have sort of taken the ball off Jasmine, as she's no longer in the group, and made contact with her contacts, so I'm sort of got this in hand.
Cool.
So...
And? Any further?
I am just sort of waiting for...
No, that's fine.
So, contact has been made. I'm just waiting now for the grass to grow a little bit bigger.
I would conclude this one then. The proposal would be that in principle the council agree to allow the use of the bandstand for organisations that want to showcase.
Yeah. I would welcome that because
and that's what it would be.
It's underused.
So that way we can keep, and when the legwork comes up, then we can inform the council when it's done. So it might be on the Saturdays, it might be during the week. Once again, it's just sort of where we can approach schools as an organisation, the PPWG, and sort of say, band concert, the band's not being used this Saturday. If you want to use it, come and put your...
Excellent idea.
And they do their own advertising, they have their own costs and their own insurance out.
Is there going to be any exception to the organisations that can use it?
When you mean like people that charge?
Yes.
It wouldn't be for fee pay. It wouldn't be for charging organisations.
Okay.
Okay. So the proposal is, or the agenda, what I'm proposing from the PPWG point of view is that we can approach schools and non-profit making organisations so that they can showcase in our bandstand because it's an underutilised facility. So that's a proposal. Seconded by
Can we,
Stan.
just before you, can
Yeah.
you put community organisations
Community
but rather than non-profit? Then that
Just-
specifies it clearly.
Just run that one by me again, please.
Proposal is that community non-profit making,
Right.
in principle, non-profit making community organisations can do showcasing when the facility is available.
Okay.
Just on a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
Well,
and,
just on a Saturday.
and then are we going to put, again, we need to...
We'll draw up a brief head to
We
terms.
need to, yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's the proposal, seconded by Stan still. All those in favour? And schools, yeah. Unanimous as well.
Well, I hope the
It's all it is, it's a very straightforward thing really, but we're just making sure that all the council is happy with it, and I think it's not
One
over.
can talk about this before.
So I'll warm this up.
Item agenda 10 is the...
Right.
And Michael?
You might have to sit behind.
Maybe.
We've got floor displays next.
Yeah, I know, but this was warm up.
Ah, right, okay. Okay, item 10 is the floor display bracket audit. Jasmine, are you happy to lead this?
I'm not going to read it.
No.
Assuming everybody's read it.
No, I haven't.
Well, maybe you wouldn't have. Quick update that Church Street and Diggles Jewellers have now also been checked, because on the, I don't know how many of you actually read that bit that said, oops, forgot that one. Stamford Road, where there's a Lark Fleet sign covering that bracket, I'm actually waiting for a reply back from RCC with that one as to whether that can be taken down so that we can have our hanging basket.
Right.
Because you can't put a hanging basket at the moment where their sign is. I did ask Tony about this earlier.
Fire hazard.
Not for long.
And he said he was going to follow it up as well, but he seemed to think the bracket was there first.
Yeah. Go on, keep that, Jasmine, ignore me.
Where's this location, Susan?
Stamford Road, literally just as you come into the junction on the left-hand side.
I can't see now.
No, you see, it goes blinding you, is it?
It's just a white light.
That's better.
I've gone to heaven.
Yeah. Good. That's done the trick. Keep going, Jasmine.
Did you hear that?
Despite all the
I knew that would make you laugh, Stan.
keep going.
I'm not going more people talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Messing with it.
It's that light is too bright in my eyes, sorry.
It's fine, no, it's
I think we're going to
That's
do each
better.
one individually, aren't we? When Jasmine's ready.
when I've done, well, Joyce emailed Craig to get the colours, didn't you, originally?
Carrot, yes.
I've spoke to him again today because of having gone round private businesses. Again, it's on the audit and following up. There's quite a few private businesses that will follow the colour scheme as well. So he's quite keen to take that up and follow that up and chase up other private businesses as well. And it has been suggested to me that although this has just been an audit to check what's going out and the brackets are there to go out to tender, that maybe in the future a more thorough audit should be done to be sent to highways as well, looking at the height of brackets because a lot of them are quite low.
Oh, right, okay.
And again, saying with the street lights under review could well throw up a lot of issues with the brackets that are on street lights and various things. But that would have to be something that's in the future.
Okay.
This one is just for
This bit.
this bit. Yeah.
Okay. Has anybody got any questions or pointers to pass back?
No, that's well done.
Yeah. What it is, if we take each, there's 3 decisions on here that are required, Martin.
I have spoke to Jasmine about it. Last year some spare baskets were given to some traders in Northgate who often say they've forgotten. There's some nice little shops, the Wall Shop, the Porter and May estate agents, and I'm wondering as we're reviewing things whether we should be looking at enhancing Northgate, including the independents. And my biggest bugbear on this whole thing is that we're not going for sponsorship to the large retailers and we miss out a lot of independents which I question why we're spending money providing baskets for, I'll say their name, like Wilkinson's as an example, when you go to another town and they buy their own, or Tesco's who get baskets put up outside there, and you can go to the place where they make some pies and everything says sponsored by Tesco's. So I'm just saying, just not a big criticism, but I'm just saying that I think rather than, it's a huge cost, I think maybe we could add to looking at the possibility of getting some sponsorship from the big companies.
You'll need to bring that to the council as an agenda item then.
Well, I thought it was all...
Well, it's not covered in this, that's the only thing, because what it is, they've done this document here.
Yeah.
And we've got,
Okay.
there's 3 proposals, so what we'll do is we'll go to the decisions that are on here, and I'll take them one at a time. So basically, looking for somebody to propose now, do we add brackets where there is some missing, or do we keep them as it is and adjust the list accordingly? So, Joyce.
It would be at our expense to put the brackets up, and the businesses are okay with that,
I
are
think
they?
so. I've always done an audit of our bracket.
Ah, right.
I mean, I'm assuming that Martin's just said that spare baskets have been taken to Northgate.
I wasn't aware.
And some were binned as
I can
well round
assume
the
they're
back here.
spare baskets from where there's been no bracket to put a basket up, where it's on the list. Whoopsie-daisy, Melton Road should have 2 hanging baskets, but there's only bracket for 1.
Right.
So it's things like that. Do we add another bracket, or do we adjust the tender list to have, we'll keep that as 1?
Yeah, go on.
So, Whoopsie-daisy would like to, would they? Do the businesses want...
Don't know about them, they were always shut.
Melton.
Fell off the wall.
Was it?
Yeah, the wind or something.
Right.
The
Right.
basket came down. That might be why they've only got 1.
You mean the bracket came
The
down?
bracket, yeah.
I mean, no, there's no
Basket
business
and
that
bracket.
wants... Well, there are some businesses that want less actually, but
Yeah,
as a rule, if they're used to having 2, they want to keep 2.
I see.
So the question is, do we add brackets where there's some missing, or do we adjust the list accordingly?
I know we're not covering this point, but can I just add a very important point? Our bracket in the front,
Yeah,
which was put up by a professional,
correct.
that's not me, in high wind it fell down, just missed the front of the car. If you've got a bracket up on a high street, people are walking underneath it. If by any chance, you know, the wall plugs or however it's done, I don't know how it's
They all
done.
want checking.
Rule books.
And they come under our public liability insurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
They want checking.
They need pull testing, like
Okay,
the...
I'm trying to keep this on to the decisions that are required. Do we add brackets where there are some missing, or do we keep them as the adjust the list
I think we
accordingly?
need to check on insurance.
I would propose, if we go to the agenda item, that we adjust the list accordingly and add on these other bits.
Yeah.
They could go on the fuller audit
Yeah.
for next year.
Okay, so what's the proposal
The
there?
proposal is that we adjust the list accordingly.
Okay.
That's for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's proposed by Vince that we adjust the list. Seconded by Stan. All those in favour?
Is that not adding brackets?
That's not
No,
adding
that's
Okay,
what it's
yeah,
adjusted,
okay.
a
yeah.
fuller audit.
All those in favour? That's,
No.
yeah, I'm abstaining.
Why?
I don't have to give a reason. Right, item 2 on there, to engage Greggs to undertake work needed, and that could be checking the stability of brackets, okay? So, to engage Greggs to undertake work needed, move brackets on lampposts, add brackets where they are missing, which we've already said we're not going to do, remove brackets from Murray's and add a bracket to impact.
Yeah.
So, that's the proposal on there. Who wants to propose that?
Can I just
Yeah.
question to it? And do we have a cost of that before we actually agree to Greg's doing it?
No.
He might charge us £80 a
Well,
pot.
I mean, surely we should be saying to them, well, this is work we want doing.
So maybe the agenda item should read to get a quote off Greggs to do that work.
And what is a suitable quote, I don't know.
Okay.
And also, if Stan's saying that one out here has fallen down, if it's ours and we are responsible, then therefore the other ones, like the fixings for the lights, need to be tested and records kept. to say that they are able to take. So I think we need to probably reword that to get a quote, but also look into the legality of the bracket and safety.
Okay. But if we get a quote, we'll have to come back to the committee for an agreement.
Yeah.
Yes, so the agenda item will read, to get a quote from Greggs to undertake work needed to move brackets on lampposts, add brackets where appropriate, remove brackets from Murray's, add a bracket to impact. Before that's, I propose that, I'm just saying that's how we word it. Mike, you're going to say
Yes, just a comment. Jasmine highlighted on the highways thing and signage. There are a number of locations, Barleythorpe Road, the top of the high street, where the brackets are on the lamp posts, where once the plants actually grow, you can't see the highway signs.
Okay.
So that needs to be observed as addressed, please.
Okay.
There was 2 lampposts I recommended changing. For
Okay, well that would come under changing
Yeah.
brackets on
Yeah.
that one. Michael, Elliot.
The proposal you just read out, hasn't it got to have a reference to up to PSI standards? Hasn't it got to have a reference to a standard?
There will be a standard.
Yes.
What
can
can
add that.
automatically apply?
Well, I personally think we need to look into that one a bit more regarding the standard, because whatever they apply to the fixings for the lights is a test with a full scale. We need to find out what standard needs to be applied so that we can ask Greggs to quote for it. So at the minute I'm a little bit concerned on how we actually word this one. We could ask Greggs to move the brackets, but actually adding the brackets and testing the
Why
stability.
don't you do it to, why don't you word it to get a quote from Greggs to undertake the work to the industry standard for this installation, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then move brackets on lamp, yeah? So
Yeah.
just incorporate it.
yeah.
And then the contractor is then responsible for establishing the industry standard and presenting that to the council with their quote.
Yeah.
Martin?
Yeah, if you could make sure that he's aware of what we're actually using. I don't know if we are going to be going and having these big containers with a lot of water, because I looked at the hooks that are at the toilets, and they're the hooks when we had the lighter weight baskets. And if
Okay.
we're talking about things falling down, you've got a gallon of water in each of those
Well, I think
things, so that they all need
Sorry.
reviewing.
By wording the agenda item then by saying that it includes industry, like Michael Elliott, Haley, Mr. Haley.
Should we say that the relevant statutory standard rather than the industry standard?
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds all right.
Relatively, say that again.
And he needs to know what you're putting on, but not just talking about it, because they all bear the same.
Buckets we use are all one standard.
But on that building, and they're holding great
To
big.
the relevant statutory standard. To undertake the work to move brackets on lampposts, add brackets, that's the.
I think it's a very important point.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So that's the. Who wants to propose that now? That it's by Vince, seconded by Stan. All those in favour?
Yes.
Everyone on abstaining. Thank you. And number 3. This isn't going to be difficult. Agree to the colour scheme. The colour scheme is. Somebody tell me.
Red, white, blue.
Oh, is it? No, it's not silver something, isn't it?
It's got gold
Sorry,
in it.
that's
There's no read it had gold.
Is it
sorry.
To
Red and
compliment.
scarlet and yellows.
red scarlet with warm yellows with silver and gold foil for flowers?
Thought we already agreed that.
Well, it's on here. So the third decision is to agree the colour scheme. Somebody want to propose that we
Yeah.
agree the colour scheme? Proposed by Joyce, seconded by Vince. All those in favour? That's unanimous.
Perhaps as well.
Happy with the colour scheme.
Yes.
Just takes into consideration those people.
Yes, colour right people. The black ball is the one next to the white.
Well done. Okay, the next one is it item 12?
Facebook.
Facebook. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. No talking on the ranks. Thank you. Facebook. To receive a report and to make that. Hopefully everybody's read this. Anybody got any comments or observations? What is on the screen there? If you want to move up to the side, Michael, please. I'm sorry to prolong it. Thank you. This page here is to give an indication of what a Facebook page looks like, and a lot of councils do use Facebook. So hopefully everybody's read the report. Jasmine's put a lot of time and effort into this. Any comments, observations? I open it up to the table. Alf?
Yeah, I think one thing we must do is to make sure that everything comes through you as the communications person.
It comes through the communications person,
Yeah, so
whoever that is.
So whoever the communications person is on this.
Okay.
Okay.
In that
I mean,
respect, sorry.
well, it's like, well, let me just clarify that, because that's right, when Jasmine was on the PPWG with myself and the rest of the gang, and she was helping me in doing the Twitter, and when she left PPWG, I asked her she to keep doing the Twitter because she had access to it.
Yeah.
She's obviously capable of doing it, and obviously I trust her to what she's putting on there is more appropriate than some of the things I put on there, because I mentioned traffic one day, and I was like, can't do that.
Northamptonshire.
So in actual fact, as long as the PPWG, whoever is the best person, is comfortable with his team of people, because one person can't do it. So that's why.
That's all.
Yeah. So that Jasmine's been doing stuff.
Yeah, any big item that you wanted to put on it, like the essential tree maintenance that Oakham are putting there, then if I was to do that, it's agreed that I did for Facebook, I wouldn't just go and put that on my own. I would
bounce it off somebody.
Bounce it off. It would go to you. It would go to Adam, and it would go through the office.
And we have done this with
the only thing that I would do off my own back is the same as Twitter, would be for council meetings, 7 PM, public welcome, that kind of thing.
So what controls are we going to have on Facebook?
Jasmine can answer that better than me.
I mean, if you see where they underneath have got write a comment, that means anybody can put a comment on that.
All right.
I've recommended in this that you can set the page so that nobody can write a comment.
View only.
So it's view only. So it will be like reading a website, and you've got a news item, or you can post pictures. People can like them, and people can share them on their own page. So if you're trying to get information out, like the neighbourhood plan, but to make a comment they would have to privately message you, so it means basically that it can't be abused. You're not going to get abuse written on there by the public.
So
it is a view only.
So they can't make a comment on that, on the way what you were saying. But is it possible to make a comment, but it's not then published until you would okay it?
No, you can set it like that. There's all different.
So you've got control. You certainly got control.
But
yes.
I've suggested that we, especially because it being new, we start off by doing it without writing a comment. You can always gauge it and see what kind of private messages you get.
I think we have that control.
So must be controls. I'm going to come to Martin, then I'll be coming to Michael Peggy. So Martin first.
I'm pleased that you're going to have the comments turned off, but I also suggest that the share is turned off, because once you share, then they can comment, and it has the town council's logo on it. I'm just helping. And you can't control what comments go on there from them. So I think it's a superb thing, but obviously it would be unfair to expect Jasmine to monitor it. A member of our community runs a page, and it's difficult to monitor that, and they get complaints because there was very inappropriate activity the other evening. And that's what I don't want to get to, the situation where we had a particular forum which was council related, and that was a problem monitoring moderators. So it's important as well, I think, that it's not shared, because you can turn it off in your settings, and because it's going to have obviously the town council logo, and I think it would be inappropriate for people to share it and then say, look at that silly councillor, or worse.
Let's see what Michael has to say.
Yeah, I don't know more about social media. However, it's interesting in this week's financial press, it is suggesting that Twitter is in serious decline, and moving to Facebook would make sense. It was suggesting that the user of Twitter is down significantly and continues.
I'm just going to ask a question. If we go with the Facebook, do you think Twitter should be knocked on the head? What do you think, Jasmine?
No.
Okay, that's what I was just going to ask.
It's still used
It's a quicker action.
You can't say as much, so you can't go in depth with anything. You do literally just get a few words you can put. 4 meeting, 7 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, has anybody else got anything to say before I come back to Martin? Right, Martin.
Just quickly, what you can do, and I've said to Jasmine, but so other members are aware, is you have your Twitter account and you have your Facebook, and you can link the two. So Jasmine could just post on Facebook, and it will automatically tweet. Twitter's not really dying. There's a fight going on because they want. I'm not having a go at you, Michael, but it's just there's a lot of things put in the media because Facebook wants to monopolise. It's a bit like the Google things and both of them have their benefits, but they need to be used. Like you can have a page, but if you don't put anything on it, then nobody's going to take any notice of it. So it needs some posting at least once a day on them. The same with the Twitter.
Let's see if Vince has got something to say.
No, I'm just going to propose, with a slight change, that Oakham Town Council has a Facebook page with a trial of 3 to 6 months or whatever we decide to be.
And that's with the controls of comments turned off and share turned off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the proposal by Vince.
Before you propose, can I just also make the suggestion that it's not, no disrespect to Jasmine, but you had to go knocking on someone's door to get the Twitter account. This Facebook account should be linked to the council's email, and then we're likely to get it verified as well. If you have it to a personal account.
What do you mean?
Well, Jasmine may set it up as a page, or she'll create a new email address.
No, the office one.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Okay, that's fine, yeah. It'll be all linked with the
It
council.
has to be linked with the council.
Right,
It is ultimately a town council thing, and it belongs to the office.
That's what I wanted to clarify, that it wasn't
Yeah.
like the Twitter set up with someone's Gmail
Right,
account.
thank you, I've got the message. The proposal from Vince was, what everybody heard, that we do it on a trial basis, 3 to 6 months, with the controls of comment turned off, share turned off, and it is done through the town council email addresses. Thank you. Proposed by Vince, seconded by Michael Haley. All those in favour?
I'm abstaining.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, I'm in favour. So that's, and then 1 abstention. Thank you. The second part of this is that currently Jasmine, who administers Twitter, is also responsible for setting up the page and administering it. That's what, who's going to propose that? Vince, seconded by Michael Haley. All those in favour? Yeah, you can vote. I think you can vote yourself. Yeah, everyone except for just 1 abstention.
Voted against.
Yeah, quite funny.
And obviously, it's accepted that it's in liaison with whoever is the, whatever they are, publicity manager. Third one is that Jasmine trains the clerk and the assistant clerk in social media. Proposed by Vince, seconded by Michael Haley. All those in favour? 1 abstention.
Yeah.
I think Alison should be able to vote on this.
Yeah. Should be too busy.
Yes.
Should be too busy. And the fourth proposal is that what content we put on the page, and it should just Oakham Town Council news, Oakham Town Council news and events, the neighbourhood plan, other events in Oakham which are appropriate, and the partnership links to Uppingham Town Council, police, Rutland County Council.
Can I just say that neighbourhood plan, at the moment we've just set up the neighbourhood plan steering group, and probably their next one I could look at is how they're going to publicise the neighbourhood plan. So can we just hold fire on that one? For the
Hold fire on the neighbourhood plan?
Yeah, so it won't be very long, but just to make sure.
Well, it can be added on.
Whether it's going to go through the website, through
Yeah.
Facebook or what, there'll be something. But it's a separate one, I'm not sure.
Jasmine, were you going to say something on that? Or you weren't, you were going to propose, weren't you? Martin?
I would like to add the meeting agendas.
That's on the town council website. And if it links to the town council website, then it's there.
Well,
When they're happening,
Facebook, you could put the next meeting is at, but on Twitter you don't get room to put there's a meeting plus a link to the website.
Right.
On Facebook you can put the meeting and a link to the website with the agenda.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay.
It's not put in the agenda, it's put in the link.
Okay, so who wants to propose then that the content is to do with just Oakham Town Council news and agendas, Oakham Town Council news and events, other events in Oakham's, partnership links like Uppingham Town Council, police and Rutland County Council. That's, you haven't proposed that, Vince?
Did you forgot fire?
I thought they'd been cut and
They've had a reprieve.
fire and ambulance. It's appropriate authorities, right? Proposed by Vince, seconded by Michael Haley. All those in favour?
Well, it's just any sort of
One
council
abstention.
sort of thing, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you to Jasmine as well for carrying that forward. Okay, planning applications.
Did anybody else have any problems looking at some of these applications on their computer?
I did initially, but then
Because there were pages that
no, the
it's operated differently.
Lands End Way one I had real difficulty with.
There's things missing.
Yes.
Yes.
But no, I did get through most of
Blank
them.
pages.
No media is what I got quite a few.
Okay.
Nice head you've got.
Thank you very much.
Shows the right position.
Anyway, this is Mr. Flower's application to create vehicular access to property, installing a drop curb from height. That's the location. It's on Birdie Road. Is that opposite the primary school?
Yeah, there's a good picture here of it.
Any? So basically, he wants to do a drop curb and vehicular access across the grass verge stand.
I have to say I think it's a good idea because there are already drop curbs on that road and it would mean probably 2 cars being
Off the
taken
road.
off the road
Yeah, and off the verges.
and off the verges.
Okay, so that's cool. Martin.
I would like to see it go ahead, but I would like to have the possibility, because he's going to have to pay for tarmac, but we look at grass reinforcement. There are particular brands, and that's like, whatever you want to call it, an egg box of concrete or honeycomb, because I'm quite disheartened by the mess along there of all the cars that are churning up all the grass round there to Woodland View. One of the things which will go in front of that property is an Oakham Town Council wooden bollard that was put there in 2010. I would suggest that if that one is going, they all go, because they just look, it makes it look untidy, because they're not actually doing anything. But I would like to put, because obviously he's got to have, or the residents got to have a porous drive.
Okay.
So they're going to tarmac grassed area. To me, that doesn't work. So I would like to see the idea that was put forward in our comment that they consider grass enforcement,
proposal that
reinforcement.
The Town Council do not object to this planning application.
We don't object, but we would.
There's a caveat that suggestion of using permeable grass block.
Yeah, it's called grass reinforcement. I googled it.
Yeah, okay. So it keeps that green look.
Yeah, and I think that's important along that road, and it could be something that the Town Council looks at further afield over the next year or something.
I can put this down, it can still be
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's a proposal from mine that we go ahead and but it's use this stuff that allows the grass to still grow and doesn't damage it. Proposed by Martin, seconded by Stan. All those in favour? Yeah, Vince, are you?
I'm abstaining. This is the
Oh,
item.
beg your pardon. Yeah, of course you are.
Because that's a huge area of time.
Okay, number 2 is the erection of a brick-built garage on the side of 51 Lonsdale Way.
Yeah.
It looks like a bit further down there's been one done at number 43.
I've been seeing it.
Right, well, any comments, Joyce, because it's your ward?
I just want to know, is it a pitch roof?
It's a flat roof, from what I read from the instructions, and it's a flat roof with a black rubber shield on it, so they don't have to, they don't want to use felt.
Don't have to use.
They're not using felt. They're going to use a lot of flat roofs nowadays are using a rubberised one-piece moulding, which is low maintenance, longer lasting, probably not quite as attractive. You could play football up there if you ever mind.
I think that's a really big improvement. It is what I would class as a shed at the moment, and a very nice shed, I have to say. They look after it well, but they need something a bit more permanent, and I would say approve it.
Okay, any other comments before? No? Proposed by Joyce that there is no objection to this. Seconded by Stan. All those in favour? It's unanimous. 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 Spire Homes is the...
Now?
Oh, beg your pardon, sorry. Single storey extension to the dining room of Mr M. Gold. Ah.
You would know this one, would you not?
You don't live there anymore.
I know you don't. You know it better than me.
Yeah. I can't see a major problem with it.
No, it's a fairly big house, and they've got extensions.
Plenty of room on Redden Road.
Yes,
Extension.
People are leaving Redden Road because they've got too much space.
I know.
Yes.
Any observations or comments from anybody else?
Other than, I think it's, I would suggest we approve it.
Okay, proposal from Stan, there's no objection. Seconded by Joyce, all those in favour? Yeah, unanimous, so that goes ahead. Spire Homes. This is the demolition of the garages on Durham Drive. I did drive by there, aren't they? They can't do the ones down the bottom because they'll just flood the old people that went into them, won't they? So this is, if anybody's seen them, they've seen the little garage complex down there. To demolish that and build two, what do they call it? Two bungalows. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a tip area.
Can you do anything on Princess Avenue bungalows, garages?
Just mention it here. So, any comments or observations?
Other than that will be a tremendous improvement.
Yeah. It's got like, well, 12 chickens as well. Just a tip.
It's like Catkins.
Catkins. Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, so proposal from Stan that there's no objection to this, or we're going to approve it. So, seconded by Michael Haley. All those in favour? Unanimous again? Can't say unanimous. That's another story. Change of use for 7 Church Street.
It's going to be for yoga and massage. Hot yoga, apparently.
Hot yoga?
I know.
Let's run round first.
Oh, yoga, so I think yoga.
Is it Church Street or Church Passage?
Church
It's
Street.
where the,
Church.
you know,
It says
where the
church.
used to be.
Right, it actually says on the paper.
It says Church Passage, isn't it?
It's, yeah, I know, well, on the document I'm just reading, it says change of use for Church Street, and then it says Scooby-Doo's Church Passage, but it is Church Passage,
Yeah.
and it is what was the document
Yes, that's
with the
what
green
Oh,
metal
what's it
fencing.
changing?
and it explains what
You have
D2
yoga
is.
and yoga. and massage.
Massage. You do it on my neck.
But it explains what
Martin, you've got a comment? Have you proposed?
Yeah, I read a planning officer's request to the applicant, said, what are you going to do with it? And it didn't actually say yoga in that letter. It says that it's to teach massage and well-being.
That's good.
And that's the official letter that's available on the website. So it did cause a bit of a snigger,
I'll be first in the queue.
but I'm not. But then it could be just like the Thai place.
It's yoga.
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's very vague. And when you talk about assembly and leisure, it's sort of...
It's not toilets, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so it's a lot worse than
I do like yoga.
So we're looking for, anybody want to propose a
Yes.
change of use, proposed by Stan, change of use, seconded by Vince, all those happy? All
Sorry.
right, are you against this, Martin, or are you abstaining?
I'm just abstaining because it wasn't really clear what was going to
So
happen
just one
there.
abstention, please. Martin doesn't like yoga.
Well, he didn't say yoga.
I didn't see that.
No.
We're only voting on a change of use, so.
Yeah, that's all.
And it's good that that
Actually,
building,
I
the
think
important thing
there
is, the building's still going to be used.
Yes, because I can't see anybody else wanting to use it.
There you go, Martin.
Oh yes, ski. It's
Oh, that one says teaching yoga.
We'll teach you.
Sorry, Alison, I must have missed.
The only watch out from that is, of course, is whether the teaching spills out into the park.
It says massage and well-being. And...
Okay, let's moving onwards then, is number 6. It's,
Sorry, Alison. I was missed.
It's okay, you alright?
I must have been asleep when I looked at the computer.
Yeah, sorry, number 6 on here is fell one lime tree for Dr. Is that John Inman? At 1 number Lime Street. Lime tree at Oakham Road.
One.
Lime tree. And 2 number sycamore trees. Joyce.
This is quite complicated, I have to say, because they sent an application in on the 7th of April 2014 for some of this work. Some of it got done and some of it didn't, and I think it's just like reapplying to have some trees done. And I've written, and it's a bit complicated. This is a lovely wooded entrance to the town and is close to the brook at Swimming Bridge. There was an application in April 2014 for the work to be carried out. I reduced 3 sycamore by 3 bits, and it just goes on and on and on. To raise the crown of the lime tree, to fell 1 sycamore, T10. Have we got T10 on there?
Yep. Yeah.
Where's T10?
On the left.
Yeah, I think that's all. This is... Now that T10 has not been carried out, and they're just asking because it's now run out of time. And so
Coming out, yeah.
I have said to fell that one. That's where's T10?
Left.
On the
There.
left.
Right?
Joyce.
Fell one. This has not been carried out and is an extension of the original application. I suggest we try to keep this area as wooded as possible. To ask for refusal of T13, which is T13. That one is quite. It's a huge garden, and a lot of it has been trimmed back. Try and keep that one. T13, and to suggest remedial work on this tree to be carried out sympathetically before nesting season, and to make sure that there is a report of bat population. Okay? T12, that's that thing there, which is now somehow appeared there.
It's moved.
I suggest that is to be felled as it's old and past its any remedial work. So I'm proposing that we keep
13,
get rid of 12.
And 10.
Well, 10 is just an extension that they've already decided they were going to fell anyway.
okay.
From the 40.
So the proposal from Joyce is T13 stays but has some work done on it.
Yeah.
And T10 and T12 go.
Yes. Yes.
In summary.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Seconded by Vince. All those in favour?
That took an awful lot of work.
Are you abstaining, Martin?
No, I'm voting against.
Martin's voted against. Do you want your name put in there, Martin?
They always do.
In that case, no.
I remember this coming to council and they asked to do work and they haven't done it.
Okay.
What would always help in these situations is for somebody, the applicants, to put photographs on the grass board to see.
Some of the submissions are dreadful.
Okay, we'll move on then to Simon Piggott. There's a photograph as you requested, Stan.
The council had nothing on.
How's that for speed? This is from Simon Piggott at Oakham School Chapel, the Fell, the Scots Pine. Over to the boss.
I viewed this tree as a parish tree warden. It's very, very tall and it can be seen even from Church Street car park. On closer inspection there is an area where a fairly large branch, not one that I could put in the back of my car like that, has snapped off. However, the tree needs a more measured and closer investigation. And I suggest that more research needs to be done before it is finally approved. So can it go back and say, Oakham School, get a dendronologist in or somebody?
I have a comment on that. Looking on the Rutland County Council website yesterday and this morning, The Oakham School have actually put a reference to there saying they had a symbiosis.
Oh, right.
And the reason that they've had at least 2 instances now, maybe more, I certainly read of 2 where branches had come off. One had actually fallen onto the chapel roof,
Yes.
hadn't caused any damage to humans or buildings, but they had to get it removed. On inspection, they found that where this thing had come off and it exposed the inner part of the trunk, because some of the bark had come away, there appeared to be certainly a tree decay issue higher up. They weren't sure how far in it was and down. They didn't want to wait for it to progress to a catastrophic issue, and that's why they were requesting for it to be removed.
So why didn't we have that information?
We didn't have it in here, but it is certainly on the Rutland County Council website.
Which
Oh,
it wasn't the other day.
Approved.
So I'm based on that. If Joyce is agreed, I will propose that we support the removal
That
of
would
the
have
tree.
saved me an awful lot of work.
So I'll propose it. I will second it, unless there's a comment you want to make, Martin, before.
I'm disappointed because, like Stan said, there was things missing. There was nothing on the website when I looked at this at the weekend. There was no consultation made to the members of the public on their listing, and I know from talking to the tree lady that trees can be diseased and can live a long time afterwards. And I fear, and I'm a tree liker, that Oakham School, and I don't care if they hear me, are using the words that somebody's used before, they are massacring trees in their estate at the moment. They have completely changed the street scene in Church Street by just chopping all the trees down by the roundhouse. And this is, to me, this is just another tree going, and a very significant tree.
Okay.
And I think if it was maintained, it would last.
I appreciate your comments. I'm going on what's on the website though, so my
But I haven't
proposal-
seen that because it wasn't there, and I asked Rutland County Council and they didn't get back to me.
I appreciate that. I propose that we support the application to remove it. It was seconded by Stan. All those in favour of that?
Got to be on a safety
1,
issue.
2, 3,
Absolutely.
4,
Especially the
5.
kids, yeah.
5 of 4. How many are against? 1, 2. How many are abstaining? 1, 2. Does that add up?
Yeah, mine.
So I'm sorry that the tree goes for safety reasons.
Right, well, I've got
May
this
not.
one.
Yeah.
There was an issue over the Abbey store.
Yeah, it's basically that.
What is
And
that?
so I rang them, and basically it's just got revised, and that is it.
I spoke to Andrew Burt yesterday, case officer. I wanted to know. He said it's quite simple, it's nothing major. First of all, there's going to be a cycle link from one of the corners.
Yeah.
So that's going to be added. There's going to be 4 reduced parking spaces.
4 reduced.
Yeah, 4 less.
Okay.
Because they're going to plant bushes, etc., etc.
That's right. Yeah.
But there's going to be 118, but that's still more than the required number.
Okay.
And there's a slight change to the drainage system, which currently has been done, or going to be done, I should say. And it seems that Rutland County Council feel that everything is okay now.
Okay. Any comments, Martin? I'll come to Michael in a minute.
Yeah, we had a thing about lights, and as our comments are very limited to approved, I noted that Langham Parish Council highlight an issue with the lighting. We, as a council, said about the rugby club, saying could the lights be off at night time. That whole area is becoming, it's countryside, and it's becoming a bit like Blackpool illuminations. We have the petrol station, we have the pub, and I fear that if we've got a supermarket, as the councillor told us tonight, it's a planning thing. It's our opportunity, if anyone objects to the lighting, to have this put in now as a comment.
Well, I'm looking on here that it says that this is revised retail with associated car parking. We can put a caveat on that can a review of the lighting be considered, but it might be that you have to submit that via the RCC website, Martin. Michael,
Can you just remind me the directions? Which road is which?
Hackamore one.
Hackmore Way is the one that goes up towards, so off Land's End Way.
Just in front of the BP mark.
Where's the bypass on that?
Bypass is
top right, isn't it? Or to the top.
Hackamore Way comes on the bottom, you come up there, then you turn right into where the old Buttercross is, the pub, and it's somewhere off there, I'm not sure exactly where it is, but That's roughly where it is. It's in Barleythorpe Parish.
I'll come back to
Oakham.
Is that answer
It's
the
in
question?
Barleythorpe Parish.
Is it? Should we have this?
Somewhere near that. Yeah.
Well, it's close to that's what we get for
Yes, we have to.
Don't we send it to the Duchy of
Independent State of Barleythorpe.
Yeah.
Mike just wants to come back with something. Stan, did you want to say something as well or not?
No, only that I'm happy to approve it.
Right, okay. Mike, you wanted to
So I was just saying when you was the point of what you were reading there, I think when the plans are being revised, it is an opportunity for them to look at the whole impact of the whole thing, and I was thinking maybe the lighting comment could be sent with this.
What lighting comment would that be? Just remind me.
Well, that it goes off when the store's closed, because you're going to be talking about big
Okay.
Aldi signs which are quite garish in colours and
Okay.
car parks, if that's possible, like we did for the rugby
We'll have that in as
club.
What I was going to say, in my proposal, I feel that we should add the comment about lights, and we would, as a
environmentally aware.
well, as a town council, we would ask the council to add this.
hit the button.
It is. So,
Okay, so the proposal from Stan, we accept this and adding a caveat about lighting that Martin has alluded to.
when the store is closed, lighting goes out.
So that's the proposal by Stan,
There's a security problem there.
seconded by...
Well, there's a security problem there by putting the lights out.
We're talking about external, they
Yeah,
might
that's what I
not
mean.
need
That's what I
internal.
mean.
The thing is that
No.
having walked the bypass last week at 4 o'clock in the morning, actually it's quite dark, even with the lights coming from the BP. It's very dark. I don't really think there'll be a major issue, but you could even put the caveat to the lighting reduced by 50%.
Yeah, that's whatever, I think we put that for the rugby club, if they were dimmable or
I think I'll read
something.
it out. I don't think we should include it because there is a potential for security issues. I don't
didn't think of that.
Right, so.
Well, they'll have all their CCTV. And
Might I suggest that the proposal is that we accept the proposed changes with the associated car parking. Can a review of the lighting, bearing in mind that security should take a priority, be looked at as well?
They want to deliver overnight, don't
They take deliveries overnight a lot of the time, although it's not as essential out on the bypass there because there's no residential restrictions at the moment.
Yet.
Yeah. At the moment.
they? No, they need to see to deliver or something.
Yeah. So how are we going to word this proposal then? Just remind me of somebody?
Except the
Now
proposal.
the security issues come up, and I do take that on board, and I think that's an important point. Now, whether all the lights need to be left on,
Yeah, maybe a reduction of 50% of the lighting.
Well, a reduction in the lighting to accommodate security or something like that.
yes.
Okay, that's the proposal then, seconded by Vince. All those in favour? No.
Can it be built tomorrow, Jim?
Next week.
Christmas was 28 minutes past 8. This meeting's closed. Thank you very much.